Hello guys, let's get started with a very new topic. Very relevant one because most of us may have invested in mutual funds. So, how do you know mutual fund is good or bad? So, what would a layman do? Just type mutual fund is good or bad in Google and just check some sites. Yeah, once you go through all this stuff, it's pretty much confusing. So, let me try and clear in a very simple manner that how one can check whether the mutual fund you have invested is a good one or a bad one. So I think you can install a money control app. What I have done to invest in mutual fund is opt a financial advisor with huge experience, Fund Bazaar. So my mutual funds are actually performing in a decent manner. I have some screenshots here. Yes, let me go through the screenshot. So this is my mutual fund investment for last 2.5 years. So the annual return is decent, just above fixed deposit. Overall absolute return is 20.99. But then you have to stay invested at least for 5 years minimum for any mutual fund to give decent returns. So in a short time, it's always up and down. Many of you guys who have invested for less than a year uh, might be less in a negative. Some has negative 2, 4, and 10. So negative returns overall. So let's say you're gone to an advisor and he has advised you some funds. Basically, any advisor would recommend you a portfolio. Portfolio is some large cap funds. We'll go to money control here now. The portfolio of any mutual fund would usually be some large cap funds. It would be a mixture of small and mid cap, and also some debt fund for safety. Debt funds are known to give very minimum returns, and I personally don't find them advisable because the returns are as good as fixed deposits. Now, many guys like Bajaj Finance is giving around about 9% for fixed deposit, and also opt a risky one like Big Bazaar retail stores are giving you a return of 10.1 or 2. Even 5 paisa trading broker is also giving 10% above fixed returns for your deposits. So debt funds are also popularly giving between 7 to 10%, in fact, and the other funds give and about 12 is expected as a market benchmark that any mutual fund you invest should give above 12% of return. Return is CAGR, annual 12% compounded. So I go to money control here, I go to mutual funds, I go to top ranked schemes. This is how you come to top ranking schemes. So you can just verify that you have some top ranked schemes in your portfolio. This is a multi cap fund, diversified investment. So uh, your risk is mitigated. You have large cap funds that are performing well, and oh my god, where's my yeah, you have large and mid cap, you have mid cap here, and then ELSS, which I avoid, contra funds. So overall equity, hybrid, debt, all. So hybrid sometimes have this freedom of bringing in anything and working well. Debt, I'm not sure. So I go to 5 year return here. The top debt funds are around about 8.3. Okay, now I go to equity. I go to 5 years now. Sorry, go to 5 years. It's around 8.9. Better, but not then good enough. Let's go to 10 years or 5 years is the maximum. So last 2 years 5.3, 3. So you can see some schemes here: HDFC fund, direct equity, and then there's this SBI blue chip, which is my favorite, doing good. So I go to top ranked. I move on to top performing schemes. So top ranked schemes are popular schemes that people like, and top performing are the real ones that have actually performed. So you can see a big difference here. The large cap funds are giving about 11.4, 10, very good return. I go to mid cap funds, bad. They're expected to give around 20-30% of return. So let me go to large cap here. Access, blue chip, SBA blue chip, and all these are really good funds. So you can check the return. Uh, you know, the top performing schemes. Even for the last 6 months here, yeah, pretty much. And for 3 years, very good return. So 5 years, 12.3. So this is very cyclic. If someone has invested before the 3 years, this is the right time. So you get about 15% of return here. So let's say, for instance, I don't want to invest in mutual fund, and what these mutual funds guys do actually invest in the stocks. So I want to know the stocks they're invested in. This is the smarter way of investing, and you need to keep track on the changes periodically. So I go into Axis blue chip here. I check the returns here. So with time, the returns have improved. So this is the best way to stay in the market here. Give it time. Now I go to portfolio. So SEBI has this rule of actually being transparent, and the data should be available here somehow. I couldn't see the data here. I'll choose a different stock. There should be some maintenance going in that fund. Oh god, I'll use I'll go for this quant large. I'll go to portfolio. Yes, we are lucky here. The Axis fund also will update. Maybe today Sunday there should be some maintenance going on. So now Quant Large and Mid Cap is a fund name. They have invested in certain equity stocks and got a better return on their investment. So which are their stocks? They have invested in Larsen, asset allocation of 10% here. Okay, and they have invested in Reliance, asset allocation of 8.2, Reliance Nippon, HDFC Life, Adani Ports, SCC Prudential, Honeywell Automation also is there, one of my long time favorites. So guys, the simple thing to do is check the asset allocation. See, they have taken huge risk on Larsen, so they have made money. They have taken on Nippon, and so many things like this is a Prudential, HDFC life insurance is a booming sector in India. So only 2 or 3% of Indian people go for insurance, which is expected to be 50% or 60% very soon. So this is a very booming sector, the life insurance one. So people have invested there. So they have their allocation on banking and finance, the top sector for last 2 3 years. So these fund managers are basically smart. So if you have any portfolio, you should be invested in banking and finance, engineering as well, like L&T infrastructure, basically automation. Yes, very good. Pharma if possible. Yeah, this is how you check portfolio of a fund. So if your fund is not doing good, you still have to go you know to the portfolio and check what is that they are not getting it right. Let's say this fund PGIM India large cap failed miserably. Let's go to the portfolio. Where have they invested? Again, I think they have changed their asset allocations recently, but then the returns were very bad. Maybe last 5 years the asset allocation was bad. Okay, this is the way you choose good stocks from fund managers who put in a lot of hard work and make their scheme work. So if you are directly invested in a mutual fund, you will be charged all the paperwork, commissions, and other stuffs, administrative expenses of the fund officers and managers. So do check the portfolio and take a decision on whether your fund is good or bad. Stay with it or change your funds. Okay, that's it. Have a good day.